Hi students, this is Achita Subramanian from St. Joseph College of Arts and Science welcoming you to this YouTube channel. This video is for the paper Shakespeare. Here let's see the short introduction of sonnet. The word sonnet is derived from the Italian word sonetto, which means a little song or small lyric. A sonnet is a poem of 14 lines that expresses a single idea, thought or sentiment and is written in Iambic Pentameter. Each line has 10 syllables. It has a specific rhyme scheme and a volta. Volta is nothing but it's a shift in the direction of poet's thought or emotion. Before going to the major types of sonnets, it is necessary to know what iambic pentameter is. Iambic pentameter is made up of two words. You can see that there, where pentameter is a combination of pent, which means 5, and meter is a means of measurement. It's a unit. So iambic pentameter has 5 feet on the whole. So iambic, on the other hand, is a metrical foot in poetry in which an unstressed syllable is followed by a stressed syllable. You can see that in this example here, delight, release, where you can easily point out a stressed. An unstressed syllable will be followed by a stressed syllable. The unstressed syllable will be very short, whereas the stressed syllable will be little longer here. So delight, you can easily find there. And it means, on the whole, iambic pentameter is a beat or a foot that uses 10 syllables in each line. For that example, I have taken the opening lines of Shakespeare Sonnet 12. That is, when I do count the clock that tells the time. This will easily make you to analyze the 10 syllables there. So you can count the words here as well as you can count the syllables, whereas one unstressed syllable will be followed by a stressed syllable in an equal interval of time. That's called iambic pentameter. So 5 feet on the whole. Simply to remember this, you can easily have your heartbeat rhythmic pattern locked up. That is pronounced as da-dum here. Da, a small unstressed syllable, dum, long stressed syllable. So this is iambic pentameter. So Shakespearean sonnet will be using this iambic pentameter for all the sonnets. Next one is 3 major types of sonnets are given here. First one is Petrarchan sonnet, next one is Shakespearean sonnet, followed by Spenserian sonnet. Petrarchan sonnet is the first one, and Francesco Petrarch, he is an Italian scholar, Italian Renaissance scholar. The first sonnet is the Petrarchan or the Italian sonnet, named after one of the form's greatest practitioner, the Italian poet Petrarch. The Petrarchan sonnet was the earliest strict sonnet form. As we noted above, the Petrarchan sonnet is divided into 2 stanzas. First one is the octave and the next one is the sestet. Octave can also be called as octet. It is also pronounced as octet also. Octave is nothing but 8-lined stanza. And it is followed by sestet. Sestet is a 6-line stanza. So on the whole, 14 lines has been divided into 8 plus 6. And the noted thing is volta. Volta is nothing but a shift in the thought. So where does the shift occurs is, it occurs in the shift from an argument or the question in the octave to a resolution in the sestet. So before the sestet you can find the volta there, and important thing is the rhyming scheme. What is the rhyming scheme is A B B A, A B B A for octave, and C D C D C D, or it can be C D E for the sestet. This is about Petrarchan sonnet. Primary thing you have to remember is it is made of octave and sestet, 8 plus 6, and volta before sestet. Next one is the scheme here. Move on to the example. To know even clear the Petrarchan sonnet, I have given you the example of the new Colossus by Emma Lazarus, and I have pointed the rhyming scheme here. You can easily find the rhyming words clearly. Fame and flame, name, those things will be all of same rhyming scheme. So A, B, A B B A A B B A C D C D C D. And additional information is in 1903 this poem was engraved on the plaque and placed on the lower level of the Statue of Liberty, where it can still be found today also. Just for an example, this poem can be taken. This is composed in the Petrarchan form of sonnet. Next one is Shakespearean sonnet. The Shakespearean sonnet, or also called as English sonnet, consists of 3 quatrains and a couplet. This is the structure of the poem. So 3 quatrain and a couplet, in the sense we can easily say quatrain is nothing but a 4-lined stanza and a couplet is a 2-lined stanza. So on the whole, 3 into 4, which gives you 12 lines, and plus 2 lines will give you 14. So on the whole, a Shakespearean sonnet consists of 3 quatrains and a couplet, and it is followed by this rhyming scheme. It is very simple: A B A B, C D C D, E F E F, and G G. So 3 quatrains and a couplet. Much like the Petrarchan sonnet, here too the volta will be there. What is the interesting thing here is the volta can either come after the first 8 lines, that is next to the octave, or as in the sonnet 130. This is more special because it comes at the beginning of the couplet. It comes at the beginning of as a couplet, you can see. Next one is, as an example of Shakespearean sonnet, I have taken this sonnet number 27. You can easily point out the rhyming scheme here. That is A B, C D, C D, E F, and G G. A formal rhyming pattern is followed by Shakespearean sonnet. And we'll move on to the next type of sonnet. Next one is Spenserian sonnet. The Spenserian sonnet has a similar structure to Shakespearean sonnet, as this is introduced by Edmund Spenser in most of his poem. He is famously noted for the Fairy Queen, his most noted work, and it follows the same as Shakespearean sonnet, the 3 quatrains, and it is followed by a couplet. The interesting thing in Shakespearean sonnet is the rhyming scheme. That is A B, B C, C D, and E E. You can see that the ending of the first quatrain will become the starting of the second quatrain, and the ending of the second quatrain will become the first of the third quatrain. You can see a pause over jump here. That's the interesting fact about Shakespearean sonnets rhyming scheme. For the example of Spenserian sonnet, I have taken Amoretti sonnet number 75. It is a collection of 89 sonnets dedicated to his beloved Elizabeth Boyle. You can find the same rhyming scheme here. Away, assay, pray, decay. The rhyming words can easily pointed here. The scheme is A B, B C, C D, E E. Next, there are a few more types of sonnets. Those are very simple. Miltonic sonnet. Miltonic sonnets, you can easily find the same usage of Petrarchan structure and followed by Iambic Pentameter. Next one is terza rima. Terza rima is a kind of poem. It consists of 11 lines. It is a poem of 11 lines. Terza rima sonnet is a poem of 14 lines, whereas sonnet has only 10 syllables in each line, but the only difference is here it has 11 syllables in each line. You can see 11 syllables in terza rima sonnet. Next we move on to codet sonnet. Codet sonnet's best example is seen in G.M. Hopkins' poem The Nature is a Heraclitean Fire, and it adds a tail to the 14th line of the sonnet. That's it. Next one is a curtal sonnet. Curtal sonnet is just a shortened form. You can have easily the same in G.M. Hopkins' poem, whereas that maintains the proportions of the Italian form, substituting 2 6 stressed tercets for 2 quatrains in the octave, and 4.5 lines of the sestet, and also 6 stresses except for the final 3 stress line. That's it. Next one is sonnet redouble. Sonnet redouble is to be noted because it is called the crown of sonnet. This is more important. This is called the crown of sonnet because it is composed of 15 sonnets that are linked by the repetition of the final line of one sonnet as the initial line of the next sonnet. This is a notable one. You can have this example in Marilyn Nelson's A Wretch for Amity Till. And next one is sonnet sequence. Sequence itself, we can easily find the meaning. There is a group of sonnets sharing the same subject matter. Next is stretched sonnet. It is just an extend or to 16 more lines. Instead of 14 lines, it is extended to 16 lines. That is a stretched sonnet. Next one is submerged sonnet. Submerged in the sense itself, we can mean that it is merged inside. The example is T.S. Eliot's Wasteland. You can find line number 235 to 248. A small sonnet has been mixed with, merged with the poem. That's about other types of sonnets here. And finally, just to recapitulate the 3 main types of sonnets I have given you in a table form, that Petrarchan sonnet, Shakespearean sonnet, and the Spenserian sonnet. The most notable work is the structure as well as the scheme of the poem. Next one is the altar's possession. That's it. First, Petrarchan sonnet has an octave and a sestet. Next, Shakespearean sonnet, 3 quatrains and a couplet. Spenserian sonnet 2 follows the Shakespearean sonnet. After that, the rhyming scheme, whereas octave, sestet, 3 quatrains and a couplet, the same is followed here too. That's the end of the video, and thanks for watching.